are German cookies.
Yeah, exactly. That is something, yes. And they are not from America, right? They lied to us. Hi and welcome back. So today we are discovering what other countries think or are told that is American. So what are the lies that we think, oh, that is typical American, which is not in reality? That is what we are going to check out today. Please make sure before we do that to hit a like and a subscribe if you haven't already, and if you like the content. That would help me so much. Thank you for that. Okay, let's go.
Hello friends, my name is JJ. So let me show you a photo that one of my European friends sent me the other day. It's of the American food section of his local supermarket. I forget what country, but I've been to Europe.
Is this Germany? No, I don't think so.
Enough times to know that sections like this are common all over the continent. Even though the resolution isn't that great, if you're from America, I'm sure you can make out a few products. We got Goldfish, Airheads, Pop-Tarts, A1 sauce, gluten-free hazelnut coffee mate. Now the question would be whether this is actually an accurate portrayal of
I had none of those products ever in my life in one of my hands.
American food, or simply a heavily exoticized one. Exoticism is a term used to describe the tendency of thinking of foreign cultures only in terms of how they differ from your own. This then leads to the habit of wrongly assuming that the weirder some foreign thing is, the more culturally traditional it must surely be. So in this case, obviously Americans
For example, Lederhosen, which is only a thing that is used in a tiny bit of Bavaria, but think it's all over Germany, because it's so different from what you are used to in the US, probably, right?
don't actually eat things like Oreo cereal or spreadable marshmallow fluff all that much, but they're nevertheless marketed as being super American because such products fit a certain European stereotype of Americans as a people who eat all of this decadent, high sugar nonsense. That said, Americans are of course just as guilty of doing this as anyone. Many supermarkets over here have the so-called world food section, featuring imported products from other countries, often presented in some equally exoticized display. Ooh, puto. Exoticizing goes hand in hand with the other phenomenon we talked about the other week, faux-authenticity. This is basically when you use a bunch of stereotypes of some foreign place to come up with a product or tradition that you then inaccurately present as being some normal part of their culture. Chinese fortune cookies, which are not actually a thing in China, but play into a certain
Really? Why does it have every Chinese restaurant has them? They're not from China?
stereotype of the Chinese as mysterious fortune tellers would be a classic example. Anyway, today I thought we would look at a few examples of faux-authentic American traditions as practiced by non-Americans around the world, and see what they can teach us about some of the interesting ways that Americans continue to be exoticized. So, I lived in Japan briefly, and while I was there, I was able to see perhaps one of the world's most infamous faux-authentic American traditions up close: fried chicken on Christmas. So, Christmas is a pretty weird holiday for the Japanese to be celebrating in the first place, given it is not remotely a Christian country. But they do, and in a mostly superficial way that focuses on things like decorations and foods above even things like family or presents. And a lot of this superficiality in turn is heavily filtered through assumptions of what Americans do. And apparently the Japanese have been convinced that eating fried chicken, especially KFC fried chicken—
Yeah, that looks quite a bit American, you know, with the center and with KFC. I could understand that, yes.
—is the traditional American thing. When you're in Japan around Christmas time, you will see big ads for special fried chicken Christmas combo deals all over the place, and a lot of Japanese kids will look forward to having a big KFC feast on December 25th. This authentic tradition was supposedly the idea of just one man, Takashi Okawara, who ran the first Japanese KFC franchise and claims to have made up the Christmas thing as a marketing gimmick in the 1970s.
And after a few years, KFC for Christmas starts to get popular in Japan. And NHK, which is a national broadcaster, comes in to interview Mr. Okawara, and they want to know if KFC is an American Christmas tradition.
You are selling Kentucky Fried Chicken so well in Christmas. And is there common custom in overseas? And I would, I know that there people are not eating chicken, they're eating turkey. But I said, yes, it was lie.
No.
But, I still regret that.
But he absolutely sounds so charming and absolutely sounds so sweet. I can forgive him this lie.
Found a lot of Japanese people were quite shocked when I told them that no one in America actually eats fried chicken on Christmas, and that if anything,
To be honest, in Germany, it would even be frowned upon a little bit because those days are reserved for the family and for a really nice dinner, for example. And if you go there to McDonald's or to KFC, something like this, that means like you have no family or you have no tradition a little bit. So, yeah, of course, only for Christian people.
eating fast food on Christmas would be considered a fairly trashy thing in American
exactly.
culture. But then again, I'm sure that a lot of Americans would also be shocked to learn that Japanese people do not eat sushi with rice on the outside. Speaking of fast food, another wild, faux-authentic American thing I have experienced firsthand on my travels is the Dutch practice of eating what they call American-style sauce on their French fries. You can buy it at places like McDonald's or in big bottles at the store. It's not that bad. I would describe it as basically what you would get if you put mayonnaise and relish together in the blender. An even weirder Dutch food, however, is what they call filet Americain, or American préparé in Belgium, which is a kind of pâté made of raw ground beef and often eaten on toast or crackers. There are a lot of theories.
That's actually a German thing. We call this Mettigel or Mettbrötchen, and that is a German thing.
About how this weird and possibly dangerous dish became associated with Americans.
Please hit like and subscribe. It would help me so much. Thank you.
People told me it was because during the war, there had become this stereotype that American soldiers all ate their steaks super rare, and then the Dutch beef industry just kind of ran with that. That is almost certainly an apocryphal story, but hey, apocryphal stories are one of the key foundations upon which faux-authentic traditions are built. In the comment section of my original faux-authentic video, a bunch of my non-American friends had some fun examples of their own of various head-scratching things they've seen marketed as being American style in their own countries. For example, some of my British viewers noted that British supermarkets sometimes sell supposed American style hot dogs in jars of brine. Load up on that big...
We always have American style burger buns or American style hot dog buns, but never the sausages.
Stateside flavor, proclaims this ad. But if hot dogs in jars of brine are too weird for you, they do also sell them in cans of brine as well. Hot dogs are, of course, one of the great exoticized symbols of American cuisine in much of the world, and as a result, slapping hot dogs on something is always a surefire way to market it as being American style. For example, in a lot of places, pizzas with hot dogs on them are presented as being American-style pizzas, either sliced-up hot dogs, as in this German pizza, or entire...
That is German? I have never seen that. Yeah, I've never seen those, the brand...
wieners, as in this one from South Korea. In Italy, meanwhile, a American pizza is apparently one with bits of hot dog and French fries. In Brazil, they sell allegedly California-style pizza with pineapple, figs, which are German cookies.
Yeah, exactly. That is something, yes.
Plums, and those bright red cherries they sell in cans. Though nothing can top this story for my friend Daniel.
I have to say, in Germany, we would maybe say Hawaii pizza is American, you know, with the pineapple pieces, but never something like hot dogs or sausages or something like that. That would be, of course, very German.
Was doing graduate work in Poland and went out to eat and saw American pizza on the menu. When she ordered it, it came out as a plain cheese pizza, and the guy brought a can of creamed corn and poured it directly onto the pizza right there at the table. Many Americans who had lived or traveled abroad were equally keen to regale me with horror stories about what other countries seem to think a traditional American-style breakfast entails. Among other things, they described being served breakfasts that included stuff like baked beans, garlic bread, potato salad, and of course, hot dogs. One guy even complained about being served green orange juice in China.
No, what is American style breakfast, and also in Germany and stuff like this, is pancakes with like syrup and stuff like that. That is American breakfast. Yeah, maybe, and bacon, always bacon.
Talking of Asia, many of my Asian friends told me about a dish that is apparently common in many Asian countries, known as American fried rice. This evidently consists of rice cooked with ketchup, corn, and raisins, accompanied by a side of various stereotypical American delicacies like hot dogs, slices of bologna, fried eggs, and chicken nuggets, plus more ketchup. But my favorite story of a authentic American dish comes from my friend Camilo in Colombia. In Colombia, we have American-style hot dogs, which are enormous hot dogs with a chorizo wiener topped with melted cheese, crumbled potato chips, various sauces, and quail eggs. I was able to...
I could say, I mean, until the eggs at the end, I could say, okay, that sounds very American, but of course it doesn't seem like it.
Verify this with a photo. Camilo continues, we named it that because of a common belief in Latin America that people in the USA eat big size foods with a lot of toppings and all of that. You can't believe how disappointed I was when I tried an actual hot dog in the USA. All right, now let us do a lightning round of a few other much beloved, allegedly American foods from around the world. Amerikaners, which are German cookies.
Yeah, exactly. That is something, yes. Everybody says to those things Amerikaner or Americans. Yeah. And they are not from America, right? They lied to us.
Black and white icing, the similar but distinct American cakes that the Poles make, which are these little doughy lumps with frosted undersides. An American sandwich, or a pan American, which is some sort of beef and French fry sandwich that they sell in...
That looks delicious. Let's be honest, that looks delicious. Oh my god, that looks so good.
France. American salad, which is a kind of mayonnaise and carrot salad sold in Spain. And American dressing, a creamy sauce that the Swedes eat that's made of pickles, mayonnaise, and hot sauce and sold in tubes. Now available in bacon flavor. But authentic Americana is not just limited to food, of course. A number of my foreign friends were eager to inform me that these things, which I guess we would call red solo cups, are a subject of considerable fascination in other parts of the world, where they are often sold as glamorous American party cups. I love this copy from this British online store. Everything about these disposable red American party cups says party. Whether you're planning a barbecue or a wild night of beer pong and American pop music, these red party cups are the perfect disposable option. Instantly recognizable from a number of American films, such as the American Pie series and Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, these disposable cups are durable enough for even the wildest of parties. In Brazil, however, they call a cup that looks like this an American cup. Brazil.
Okay, tell me in the comments, please. Let's go back.
However,
tell me in the comments,
they call a cup that looks like this.
Which is the first country that comes in your mind if you see this cup? For me, somehow it's France. I don't know, that looks so French, doesn't it? Tell me in the comments, what do you think is this country?
An American cup. Brazilians also call placemats American sets for some reason. They have a similar situation in Italy, where a placemat is known as an American tablecloth. Are placemats really that American of a thing? My friend Marcelo, meanwhile, tells
We have them in Germany as well. They are pretty common.
Me this story. I visited Chile one time, and they have stores out there called American stores. These stores are actually just thrift stores, but they call them that because they mostly have American types of clothing, such as American football jerseys, American brands, American college shirts, etc. It was pretty funny, to be honest. This reminds me of another wild story I can tell you from my time in Japan. There was this neighborhood in Tokyo called Harajuku that was known for having a lot of cool hipster fashion stores, and they would have these American fashion stores where they would sell like Tommy Hilfiger and Supreme and all of that. But in order to have the full American experience, they would employ these guys wearing, you know, do-rags and chains and basketball jerseys to stand out front of the stores and beckon the Japanese people to come in. But these guys were not actually African American, but rather literal African immigrants from places like Senegal or Ghana, who I assume were much cheaper to hire. And they would be trying to lure you into these stores with their cool American hip-hop slang, but spoken through these thick African accents from people who, in many cases, clearly barely understood English. Now, in Russia, there is nothing the kids love more than heading down to the old theme park and riding the American slide, which is what they call roller coasters over there, which is kind of ironic since in a lot of other European countries they call roller coasters Russian mountains, and the historians seem to agree that they were actually invented in Russia as well. But still, I'm sure Americans would much rather be associated with roller coasters than brass knuckles, or as the French call them, American fists. Or how about duct tape, which is called American tape in Spain. All right, now let us close with a really good summary of what is perhaps one of the best examples of a faux-authentic American phenomenon that wound up going mainstream in America itself. My friend Christopher writes, I think one example of something that is a product of a foreign country's idea of American culture that America kind of reappropriated for itself is the spaghetti western film genre. As the name suggests, the genre originated in Italy as Italian filmmakers made movies based on a largely mythical understanding of the American West. American filmmakers then began to import the style in their own films about the American West, and it proved very popular among American filmgoers, even if its representation of the Wild West is only very loosely based on the truth. A very recent film that utilizes a lot of the spaghetti western tropes is the Quentin Tarantino film Django Unchained. The term spaghetti western is itself also quite interesting, because as we discussed in the previous video, spaghetti has become one of the most Americanized Italian foods in the US. So there is something wonderfully poetic and circular about using the name of an Americanized Italian food to describe Italianized American history. So I hope you enjoyed these two deep dives into the exciting world of faux-authentic culture. If you have any ideas of how I could stretch out this premise any further, please let me know in the comments. Don't forget to check out the first video if you haven't already.
Was a great video, to be honest. I absolutely love to see what is maybe wrong in the different countries about America and what are stereotypical things. And to be honest, this Americana, I always asked myself my whole life, why is it called Americana? I mean, it's not even, you know, American. It is a person from America. Americana means an American citizen, you know? And I always thought like, why? That's just black and white. I don't know, maybe that is something about, you know, black people, white people, I don't know. But it doesn't make any sense to me. And yeah, he clearly cleared this up. I thought maybe there is a donut type of thing or something like this, where this was inspired from or something. But he clearly, thank you that he cleared it up, that this is just a lie that we tell somehow, oh, that looks American, let's call it Americana. Yeah, tell me maybe a few things that you think are German or maybe from another European country, and you know, or you assume that they are not actually. That would be very, very awesome that we have the other side as well. Yeah, and tell me what you, if you liked the video, what you liked about the video, if you should do more videos like this. And then I wish you a wonderful day, and we see each other in the next video. Bye!